but I'm going with Mehmet Okur.
Good grief, man. Who the
you
hell?
got a couple Jazz on your team. You sure you're not Mormon, bro? You careful?
I'm positive I am
careful,
not
man.
Mormon. I had a guy, you know what's funny? I tweeted the other day that I can't stand being a Bulls fan. I had a guy reply, "You should be a Jazz fan," and I said, "I'm sorry, I can't. I'm not racist."
Perfect.
Alright, before this video even starts, no, Zion is not a superstar level player quite yet. However, this video is going to be talking about how much closer to being that he is than I think people are giving him credit for. Because it is very damn close from these first 12 games, so don't yell at me about the title. But before I get into explaining that, I need to mention a few things. One, if you are new to this channel, you enjoy this video, there are many more like it that are to come, and many more like it that are already on this channel. So if you enjoy this video, please subscribe, and of course, drop a like on the video. It does a lot more than you would know. Also, there is a new episode of the Hoopscast out that was probably the best episode we've had in a long time, because it was a really fun one. Me and Mojo created our own all-time teams with the limitation of only having 3 superstar players, so we had mixed role players into it and determined which roster was better. So go check that out and vote on the poll that my roster was better, because it clearly was. I do have one more announcement, however it is a long one, so if you don't give a shit about me and just want to get to the content, rude, but I get it, then go to the timestamp right there that will show when the video is going to start. I have started another channel that has nothing to do with basketball. It's a film channel. After basketball, my next biggest pastimes, I guess, would be movies, TV, and video games. And for a long time now, I've wanted to start a channel where I talk about those things, and I finally did. The first video on my new channel, called IDK Films, is up now. It is me and my brother commentating over Space Jam. I figured a good video to start off that channel would be something in a similar territory to what we have on this channel with a basketball movie, Space Jam. Now, I was going to show a clip from that video in this video, however, Warner Bros. Is a dick about copyright. They've already blocked that video on the new channel multiple times, so even by the time this is up, it might not be out yet. However, please go subscribe to the channel at the very least. I still don't know if that video is going to be up in time. I guess we'll know once this is out. With all of that out of the way, let's now finally talk about the actual topic of this damn video. Zion Williamson has played 12 games thus far and has been unbelievable, but somehow, after all of the hype that he carried with him into this season, I'm not seeing nearly the amount of attention that I would expect from Zion playing as well as he has. Somehow, people are not freaking out about this. In his 12 games now, Zion has played at a borderline superstar level. Actually at a superstar level, now that I'm thinking about it, in these games, in the minutes that he's been able to play. So let's talk about these 12 games and why you should expect Zion to be a superstar sooner rather than later. Through 12 games, Zion is averaging 23 points per game as well as 7 rebounds, shooting 59% from the field, but the catch here is he is only playing 28 minutes a game. Just 28. Convert those numbers over to per 36, and he averages 29 points and 9 rebounds while again shooting nearly 60% from the field. Those numbers are almost last year MVP Giannis numbers, excluding the assists and a couple of rebounds. This kid is 19 years old. I turned 20 in 2 days. This fucker is putting up Giannis numbers younger than me. And yes, I'm almost 20, not almost 40. Ha ha, he's old. Get it? That's hilarious. I'm not actually that bitter. That came off as really bitter. Anyways, with those numbers out there, let's look at them a little deeper. First of all, Zion is shooting nearly 8 free throws a game right now, which would be 10 a game per 36. Unfortunately, he is only shooting 60% at the line. Now, I would like to be hopeful that that can improve. However, he did shoot just 64% at the line in college. But let's say down the line, maybe 2 seasons from now, he can shoot 75% from the free throw line, which is pretty reasonable. He would average an extra 1.5 points per game with those 10 free throws a game, and then add that to the per 36 number, and he would be at the 30 point per game mark. All of this, by the way, with him taking just over 1 3 a game per 36. Being able to draw fouls has quickly become a big staple in a good NBA offense. Like it or not, the ability to get to the line is important for an efficient offense. Even though I don't like it, the skill that James Harden has to get to the free throw line is invaluable to an NBA offense. It definitely isn't aesthetically pleasing as a viewer, and at times it really feels like an exploit of the NBA's rules, but either way, it's an important ability to have for winning, and Zion has it. The one area of concern, however, for Zion with drawing fouls is just how damn big he is. Zion could very well have the same issue that LeBron had throughout his career and still does, which is the refs treating him different because of the physical specimen that they are. LeBron is 6'9", and in his prime he was pushing 270, and because of that, when he was barreling inside and a defender slapped him on the arm because of that impact not being as significant on LeBron as it would be for, let's say, Stephen Curry, the refs decide not to blow the whistle. I could definitely see Zion having this exact issue. He's rumored to be playing at even as high as 300 pounds, and because of that, when he is more established as one of the league's biggest stars, literally and figuratively, I could definitely see the NBA's refs treating him differently from less physically gifted or just big players. If Zion just got a little bit comfortable from outside, he might become the most unstoppable offensive player ever. Not even hyperbole. I also think Zion has room to grow as a rebounder. He only averages 7 right now, and per 36 only 9, but I definitely think with some work he can get into the double digits. It doesn't help his averages, however, that he is playing with a great rebounding team. The Pelicans are 5th in rebounding with Lonzo at point, who is a good rebounding point guard, getting 6 boards a game. Ingram averages 6.3, Derek Favors averages 10, and you have guys like Josh Hart off of the bench, who is averaging a kind of crazy for a 6'4 guy, 6.6 rebounds, grabbing 8.5 per 36. Josh Hart, by the way, having a very underrated season. So with this Pelicans team, there's a chance that Zion never really averages the amount of rebounds that he could be, but at the very least, he's gonna average around 9 for his prime at least. But looking at the actual 12 games, in his first game versus the Spurs, he famously randomly went off from 3, hitting all 4 of his attempts in the fourth quarter, shooting in the 70s overall for that game. He shot that same percentage against the Nuggets. Versus Boston, he finally played over 21 minutes and was a plus 15. Against Cleveland, he was a plus 14. Versus Memphis, he was a whopping plus 28. And remember, the Grizzlies are a good team with a solid defense. Then in the 2 games versus the Bucks and the Rockets, he was a negative, but only slightly against 2 very good teams. Chicago, he had 21 on 9 for 11 shooting. Versus the Pacers, he was a plus 21 with 31 points. Against OKC, he had 32, and then 25 against Portland, and 28 versus the Warriors with a plus 13 and plus 14 in both games. Those plus minus numbers are insane. The Pelicans in those games, by the way, are 7-5, and subtracting the 2 games where he was playing just over 20 minutes, they are 7-3. When you watch the Pelicans, when Zion gets in the game, they are instantly a better team. If you want a metric for just how impactful this guy has been so far, look no further than his on-off numbers. The Pelicans are 13 points better when Zion is on the court. They have a 115.4 offensive rating when he is on the court, which ranks the Pelicans as 2nd in the league offensively when he is in. And then defensively, the Pels have a 112.9, which is 22nd in the NBA without Zion. With Zion on the court, they have a 101.7, which makes the Pelicans the best defense in the NBA, beating the Milwaukee Bucks by 2 points. So the Pelicans, when Zion is in the game, have the best defense in the league and the 2nd best offense. 2nd, by the way, to the Dallas Mavericks, who are currently having one of the best offenses of all time. if not the best, last time I checked, which would pretty much make them the best team in the NBA when Zion is on the court. Of course, he cannot play all the time, so they're obviously not the best team in the league, but worst case, when Zion's on the court, they would be second to the Milwaukee Bucks, who are on pace to win 70 games. With Zion on the court, the Pelicans are a championship level team. With him off, there are 20 teams in the league that are better. That is fucking insane. The Pelicans, with Zion on the court, statistically have been that of a contender, at least so far, and we will get into that. But if I am the Lakers, I am praying the Grizzlies hold on to that 8 seed, which is looking less and less likely. Because while I would certainly bet on the Lakers in their position, because again, Zion cannot play 48 minutes, if Zion could average just 34 minutes a game, which isn't unreasonable, it isn't going to be a cakewalk that you would typically expect out of a 1-8 matchup. So looking at all of this, with Zion able to play starting minutes down the line, he is a 30-10 guy who can be the guy who makes such an impact that he takes a number 20 team and makes them a number 1 team. He's 19. That's gotta make him a superstar, right? Well, I'm not going to say it yet, because this is just a 12-game sample size. And with that, you could just say that he is off to a strong start, or the fact that the teams they were playing weren't really built to stop Zion, though I'd argue no team really is except for maybe the Jazz. But there is also the other angle, which is, hey, we're only 12 games in. Imagine what he'll be able to do when he is more used to the NBA's game and is even more confident than ever. There is a case to be made both ways. What I will say with confidence is that Zion next year, if he can stay healthy, is going to be a top 12 player in the NBA by next year. Zion is something that we really have never seen before. He is going to be a superstar, and there is a case to be made that he already is. The only thing that can hold back Zion is not losing weight and how big of an injury risk he can be. But if he can stay healthy, Zion is going to be a scary, scary, scary player. Real quick before you go, please go either check out that video I mentioned or just go subscribe to that channel depending on what's happening. And also check out the latest episode of the Hoopscast. Again, it was a really good one. You would enjoy it, I promise you. It's not gonna bite you. Just click the fucking link. Sorry. I mean, it's gonna be my birthday, so watch it. For me. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah. This is the end of the video. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more NBA content like this, and cue the outro music.